come in the human race, the systems which we see today, all the different systems, employment system, the retirement system, the investment system, all the systems which we see today, which are placed in market today, all those were made by Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu at his time. Such an intellectual, such an intelligent person. He said, we were the most disgraced people. How did Allah give us respect? A'azzana Allahu bil Islam. Allah gave us honor through the media of Islam. That is the true respect which Allah gives. Then he said, in natlubu al-izza biduni ma a'azzana Allah adallana Allah. If we will leave that, which is the true way of success, we leave that, and we look in everything else, then adallana Allah, Allah will disgrace us. This is a fact. So the first thing which every person is looking for is success. Allah has kept it on Iman. Second thing, every person is sitting and saying, a lot of you are businessmen. When you meet, when people talk, they say, give me such a business venture, I invest little time, little money, and return should be in abundance. Return should be in what? Abundance. Little of my time goes, little of my money goes, and return in abundance. This is what is told today, right? That show me investment, that I put little money, little time, and in return I make a big profit. Quran puts it in a very nice way. And Quran says, لو أن أهل القرى آمنوا واتقوا لفتحنا عليهم بركات من السماء والأرض. If people bring two things inside them, two things, Iman, Taqwa. Iman and piety. What Allah says, we will open لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ. We will open the doors of the barakat of the heavens and the earth. There is no translation for barakat in English language. There is no translation. The example of barakat I can give you from Sirah, to one or two incidents. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu says that I used to be in the Masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I was a student, and once I was extremely hungry. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was coming out of the Masjid, and I asked a meaning of an ayat of the Quran. He says, I really didn't want to ask the meaning of the ayat of the Quran. I was very hungry and I wanted to eat something, and this was an excuse. So Rasulullah told me, Abu Hurairah, come. He took me to his house. He asked, is there anything to eat? The answer was that yes, a bowl of milk has come from the Ansar. Abu Hurairah said, I was very happy. Okay, now what I came for, I have achieved. Rasulullah said that, oh Abu Hurairah, you know, you've got 70 of your companions, 70 of your friends with you. Why don't you call them? So he says, now one bowl, 70 people, what's going to happen and what am I going to get? He said, I called all of them. And then he said, I knew the habit of Rasulullah that he'll tell me to serve everyone. And I will get at the last. He said, I served everyone. After serving everyone, that bowl of milk was as it was. And he says, then Rasulullah told me drink, told me 3 times. The person who has a rawi who narrates this riwayat from Abu Hurairah, He says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us, and Abu Hurairah is telling us, that whatever you get through Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it may look very little, it may look very less, but it is full of blessings and it is full of barakat. It is full of what? Blessings. It will look very less, very little, but it is full of blessings and barakat. This. The same Abu Hurairah says when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called me. He said, Abu Hurairah, a lot of people will come to learn knowledge from you. So you have to entertain them, you have to take care of them. Look, this is a bag of dates. You know how we have wallets today? At those times they used to have money pouches. They used to have, like we have purses, so they would put money inside them and they would carry it. So that they would carry coins in that. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him a bag of dates and said, Abu Hurairah, look, people will come and you will feed them. And he told me two things. Abu Hurairah, never look inside and never count. Ulama ne likha hai, jo aadmi khane mein, ghar mein barakat chahe, he shouldn't count his money. Yes, when you give deal, it is separate. Like if you have chapati, so you taqsim karta hai, so you take one, you take one, you take one, you take one. Okay, the food, if you keep it together, ta'am al-wahid yakfil ithnain. The food of one is sufficient for two. The food of two is sufficient for four. The food of four is sufficient for 8. Allah will give barakat in food when it is not counted. When it is not counted. When you eat together, there is barakat. When you eat separately, there is no barakat. The more hands, the more barakat. And shifa. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when a Muslim eats a leftover of a Muslim, there is shifa inside, there is cure inside. The ulama have written, there is a hadith, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi, when Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi visited Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi. So Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullah alayhi told his daughter, a very pious person is going to come to our house today. Very pious person. He eats very little. He sleeps very little. So the daughter, she was very famous alima of her time, muhaddis of her time, very intelligent. So she cooked the food and also prepared the water for wudu and all that, so that night when he made the tahajjud, he was there. So the next morning, the daughter said that, oh my father, I have two questions for you. One is, you said a very pious person is going to come. All the food what we made, he ate all of it. There's nothing left. You told me that he doesn't sleep at night, he prays at night. The water which I left for wudu was as it is,